As Alistair was in the mirror, he heard rumors of this demon that can be summoned. Someone that did not go to hell. This strange person that died, that had the power to resist going to hell and heaven. He stayed on Earth. Now, ghosts weren't real in the Hazbin universe. You just went to heaven or hell. But this one was different. This was a sinner that was trapped on Earth. A sinner that found a way around, and you can summon him. Alistair thought that was pretty bogus, how he could just stay. So he decided to bring him to hell. As he looked at a mirror, Beetlejuice hid things and made it so people in hell couldn't summon him with a magic barrier. However, Alistair had enough power to break this barrier as he said, "Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice." As suddenly he would summon in front of him, and Beetlejuice would say, "Huh, about damn time you... Wait, what? No! What am I doing here?" Alistair would say, "Very well. If someone summons me on Earth, I could just get back." "I wouldn't count on that," Alistair would say. Beetlejuice would yell, "What'd you do? Why'd you do this?" As he was angry, he was about to attack. But suddenly, he was shocked, as Alistair would disappear. As Beetlejuice would walk out, he was in hell. As then we cut to Alistair and Rosie. Rosie would say, "Are you sure that's a smart idea?" Alistair would say, "I am. Besides, he'll be a valuable pawn, and he won't even know it." As we cut back to Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice began to walk across hell, as he actually fit in quite well. Beetlejuice would continue to wander the streets. He thought he cheated death. He cheated hell. And he made it so he could survive forever. By the way, this Beetlejuice's backstory will be different from the original, because I know the original was not like this. As Beetlejuice continued onward, he had an idea. If he could scare people here and become even stronger, when he eventually got back to Earth, he'll be even more powerful. So that's what he would do. He would lay low and test out his powers here. His powers weren't the same as normal. However, down here, there was others with powers like his, so he had to be much smarter the way he did things. So he would decide to go after small fry, weak people, to slowly work his way up to the stronger ones. As Beetlejuice would possess imps to jump off buildings and do stuff like that, small things that didn't really mean much. But over time, he would slowly get more and more bold, as he would take on bigger groups and things like that. As Beetlejuice's power spread, rumors about him, but it was every day in hell. There was Alistair and there was other overlords that tortured others and destroyed things, so not really much of the news, as they just took him as someone who was an overlord. They didn't know how powerful he was, but since he just preyed on the weak, they assumed he was a weaker one, getting out his anger. However, slowly began to move up, taking on more and more powerful ones, until eventually he wanted to really test his luck, to test his power. He wanted to take on a fellow overlord. That he would then go to Camilla Carmine. As Camilla Carmine was sitting in her chair, she simply looked out the window as she smiled, seeing the city below her. As then she said, "I know you're here." As Beetlejuice would say, "Really? I teleported here, and I was working on my stealth." "Looks like I messed up a bit." Camilla Carmine would say, "What do you want?" "Ha! People think I'm weak because I haven't taken on an overlord. I want to join you, and I want to fight an overlord. Those are my terms. You demand to fight one of us? Are you insane? What do you even bring to the table?" Suddenly, Beetlejuice would teleport behind her and say a lot of things. As in, he would possess one of their servants and make them start to dance. "I have many powers, you know. If you don't believe me, I could test them on you." Killicorn would sigh and say, "Fine, but I won't make it easy on you. I'll be choosing someone powerful, so get ready." Beetlejuice would say, "I'm always ready." As then he would disappear. Camilla Carmine would say, "He's a pain in the egg." As Beetlejuice would continue the search, eventually Camilla Carmine would send him an enemy, someone to fight, someone to make him challenge. As Beetlejuice stayed there, someone really strong would show up, Alistair. As then he said, "I knew she would send me." As Beetlejuice got ready to fight, he would say, "Ah, perfect." Alistair would say, "Calm down now. What if you let me live for a greater fight?" Beetlejuice would say, "A deal. That could be interesting." As Alistair and Beetlejuice would begin to talk, Beetlejuice would say, "I just want to fight someone strong, to prove I am worthy, to better myself. I've lost quite a few times, but I've always stayed on Earth. You know, I could do this, right? You know." I can see that Alistair would say, "Yeah, I'm not that interested, but if you want to fight someone strong, join the hotel. We'll be fighting exorcists eventually." Beetlejuice would say, "What's an exorcist?" Alistair would explain heaven, how they came down and wiped out sinners. He would say, "Now that's evil, but I'm in." As Beetlejuice and Alistair would then go to the hotel. As Beetlejuice would walk in. Charlie would say, "Hang on, you look familiar." Vaggie would say, "That's Beetlejuice." Some thought he was weak, some thought he was strong. No one knows his true power. If he's with Alistair, I guess Alistair won and took his soul. Beetlejuice would say, "No," as he teleported behind her. "I'm not Alistair's lackey. Got it?" As he got mad, he was about to fight her. As Alistair would say, "Careful now." Beetlejuice would say, "I don't take orders from you." As then Charlie would say, all right, why are you here? Do you actually want to be redeemed?" "No, I want to fight some angels." Charlie would say, "Of course you do." As Beetlejuice would stay at the hotel, he would slowly get to know the people there. Beetlejuice would then start to get to know the people at the hotel. As Husk would kind of like him. He was weird, goofy, and powerful, but he wasn't like Alistair. He wasn't scary to him. Besides, Husk didn't take much interest in him, as Beetlejuice would actually go to the bar quite often and have some drinks there. Angel kind of liked him too. Angel every once in a while would try to make a pass at him, but every time Beetlejuice would turn him down. As one day, as Beetlejuice was drinking at the bar talking to Husk, Husk would say, "So what's your end goal?" Beetlejuice would say, "What do you mean?" Husk would say, he would simply stare at Beetlejuice. As Beetlejuice gave him a blank stare, usually he talked or said something funny, but this was different. He simply stared at him, and then he smiled and said, "Well, my old end goal was to cause havoc on Earth and not go to hell. Now that I'm in hell, I don't know. I guess it'll be to have fun." Husk would say, "You're powerful, smart, and simple and goofy. You truly are unique." Beetlejuice would say, "Heck yeah, I am." As then Beetlejuice would go to his room and enjoy a good night of sleep. Woke up though and walked out. Vaggie was there. As Beetlejuice would say, "What are you doing here?" Vaggie would say, "I'm here to train you. You know how to fight, but not." As suddenly Beetlejuice would appear behind her, she would then kick him as he would fall to the ground, but not against an exorcist. As this would be after they found out she was one, Beetlejuice would nod and begin to train with Vaggie. As Vaggie would train him how to take down an exorcist, train him how to fight like an angel, and train him how to use angelic weapons. Beetlejuice was very powerful, but the only way to destroy an angel is with an angelic weapon. As Beetlejuice continued to train, he got stronger and stronger, and he began to get more techniques. As he began to evolve a fighting style of martial arts combined with his magic, as he felt so strong and so powerful. Before the battle, though, one day Beetlejuice would be up on a balcony, as Alistair was beside him, and he would say, "Alistair, can I ask you a question?" He would say, "Of course." "Why did you summon me here?" Alistair would simply laugh and say, "I thought it was quite obvious. The reason I summoned you here is that, well, so I can leave." As then Alistair would walk down. Beetlejuice would be confused by this. As Beetlejuice would say, "How is getting me to this hotel going to help you?" As suddenly Alistair would disappear. Beetlejuice would sigh and say, "Well, I guess that's to taste my own medicine." As he continued to train, eventually the day would come, as Adam would fly down with his exorcist. As suddenly Beetlejuice would teleport behind him and kick him down. Adam would say, "What's that?" Beetle would say, "It's Beetlejuice." Adam would say, "The drink?" Didn't really like it. Beetlejuice would say, "This is gonna be fun." As Adam would start to pull out his spear, he would throw it at Beetlejuice, but he would just teleport behind him. As he teleported behind him, Adam would punch him, though, as Adam would be able to read his movements since he's been fighting for a very long time. And Adam would start to get serious. As Adam and Beetlejuice fought, Beetlejuice's techniques and powers kept on the upper edge, but Adam was a fighting genius who would use his immense strength to keep Beetlejuice at bay. Both of them were tied. Neither could land a hit on the other, when suddenly Alistair would appear behind Adam and stab him when he was distracted. Alistair would say, "You'd think a great warrior like you would keep his back guarded." As then Adam would say, "F you," as then he would bleed out. As Beetlejuice would say, "We did it! Now what?" As suddenly Beetlejuice would start to teleport back to Earth, and Alistair would say, "Just as I thought, someone on Earth is trying to summon you." As Alistair would suddenly run towards Beetlejuice and grab him. As Beetlejuice and Alistair would travel back to Earth, as Alistair did it, he escaped hell. And that's where I leave things off. Thank you for suggesting the idea. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for being here for me. It means the world to me. This channel is really fun to make videos for, and like Hazbin Hotel is also really fun, and like, yeah. Also, I was looking on X, and everyone was like, "It's sad to be a Stolas fan," and they like showed this really dark video of Stolas who ended, yeah. And like, if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. But I looked on VisiBop's channel, I asked people, and I have no idea what the heck they're talking about. I have no idea what the heck this video is. I think it's like a fan-made dark video or something. But yeah, I have no idea what it is. So yeah, if you guys know what they're talking about or know what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments below, because I am generally confused and I have no idea where this is from or how this starts or anything like that. So if any of you know how this started or where this is from or something like that, please let me know in the comments below, because I would really, really appreciate it. I'd also want to say that I have been working kind of hard on this channel recently. You know, I've been kind of going in all-nighters and stuff. Not really good for me. Well, I shouldn't say all-nighters. I should just say I work late as hell and sleep kind of late in. But yeah. Also, you'll never guess what happened. The power went out for my part of town. It was insane. Part of the town had power. Part of the other part of the town didn't. And of course, I was the unlucky part. If you've never lived in like a small town, we have big towns, they have electric grids underground, so storms and stuff won't make you lose power. But little towns don't. And we literally just had a storm that lasted for like 20 minutes. It only had like a few strikes of lightning, and we lost power. It was the dumbest thing ever. Our town really needs to step that crap up. Anyway, had fun. Hope you all enjoyed this what if. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Peace out.